AMD Adrenalin 24.9.1 GPU driver out now, official Fluid Motion Frames 2 integration, 2.5x FPS boost, geometric downscaling and more. AMD has officially launched its Adrenalin 24.9.1 GPU driver, which officially integrates Fluid Motion Frames 2 while adding new features. AMD claims an average of 2.5x higher performance with FSR2 plus AFMF2, Fluid Motion Frames 2 now officially integrated in Adrenalin 24.9.1 GPU driver. More software updates. AMD has launched its latest Adrenalin Edition 24.9.1, which introduces several new features. These included support for more games such as God of War Ragnarok and Frostpunk 2. Additionally, the Adrenalin 24.9.1 features AMD Fluid Motion Frames 2 and AMD Radeon Anti-Lag 2 Volt and support for CS2. Download the AMD Adrenalin Edition 24.9.1 GPU driver here. Windows 11 10th 64-bit. Today, AMD boasted about the performance gains with the AFMF2, which reportedly increases the performance by an average of 2.5 times when combined with AMD FSR Fidelity Super Resolution 2. The AFMF2 can be turned on with the HyperX, which can be enabled by choosing the HyperX profile in the Adrenalin software. As per the company, both AMD Radeon RX 7000 series GPUs and Ryzen 7000 CPUs with integrated graphics can achieve higher performance through AFMF2, while the Radeon RX 6000 series allows enabling AFMF2 globally in the graphics options. As per the company's benchmarks, games like Baldur's Gate 3 and F124 achieve over 2x the performance in every scenario when the HyperX AMD FSR2 plus AFMF2 is turned on. The components tested were the Radeon RX 7900 XTX, RX 7800 XT, RX 7600 XT, and the Strix Point Ryzen i9 HX370, which features the Radeon 890M graphics. The RX 7900 XTX achieved the highest performance boost of up to 3.2x in F124 on 4K Ultra High presets, increasing the average FPS from 45 to 145. The least performance boost was seen with the Ryzen i9 HX370 at 1080p high settings in F124, which yielded 2x performance, increasing the average FPS from 61 to 121. As these numbers are from the company itself, take them with a grain of salt as the actual results can vary. Nonetheless, AMD is making progress with its software, and with the release of AFMF2, it introduced gaming enhancement through lower latency in frame generation and fast motion optimization. The extended support to Strix Point APUs is also a welcome move, as users with these APUs will require the most performance boost. The new software also brings other non-gaming features such as geometric downscaling, which reduces artifacts in video playback. In the blog post, AMD shows this by comparing a regular downscaling method to geometric downscaling, which keeps the artifacts at bay and decreases aliasing for smoother video quality. AMD Adrenalin Edition 24.9.1 can be downloaded from the official website, which supports geometric downscaling on Radeon 800M integrated GPUs and Radeon RX 7000 GPUs for desktop and mobile platforms. Following is the full driver changelog. New game support: Frostpunk 2, God of War Ragnarok, Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine 2, The Sims 4 DirectX 11 update, AMD Fluid Motion Frames, AFMF 2, a major advancement in frame generation technology for AMD HyperX. Lower latency and higher performance. AFMF2 enhances fast-paced gaming by significantly reducing frame generation latency and improving performance scaling through new modes. Fast motion optimization. Enjoy smoother gameplay and higher FPS with improved frame generation consistency during fast motion. improved borderless full screen support, expanded display mode support for RDNA 3 series graphics products ensures compatibility with virtually all borderless full screen games. Expanded API support. AFMF2 can now be enabled for any OpenGL sup new less than slash sup Vulkan sup new less than slash sup DirectX 11, and DirectX 12 titles. Radeon Chill interoperability. AFMF2 now supports Radeon Chill, providing a low latency FPS capping option. Optimized AMD Ryzen i300 series support. AFMF2 is optimized for an extensive list of AMD products, including AMD Ryzen i300 series processors. AMD Radeon Anti-Lag 2 Vulkan support for Counter-Strike 2. AMD Radeon Anti-Lag 2 now supports a Vulkan API, offering additional responsive gaming options. AMD Radeon Anti-Lag 2 introduces an in-game option to optimally pace frames, further reducing input lag on AMD RDNA architecture-based graphics products. Users looking for a way to measure response time can use our Frame Latency Meter, FLM, or the built-in latency monitor in AMD Radeon Anti-Lag 2. Use the Alt plus Shift plus L hotkey to enable the Radeon Anti-Lag 2 latency monitor. Once activated, a small white chevron will appear in the top left corner of your display, indicating that it is enabled. Use Alt plus Shift plus L again to cycle through the following latency monitor display options: no metrics, FPS only, FPS and latency, INMAS, FPS and latency, INMAS and frames, FPS and latency, INMAS and frames, with a legend. To compare the difference between Anti-Lag 2 off and Anti-Lag off, hold the right control key. Geometric downscaling for video. Improved image quality by reducing artifacts during downscaled video playback. Geometric downscaling is supported on AMD Radeon 800M integrated graphics, as well as AMD Radeon RX 7000 series desktop and mobile discrete graphics cards. Expanded AMD Radeon Boost support. Final Fantasy XVI. Expanded Hypertune support. Hypertune support allows HyperRX to enable in-game technologies like AMD Fidelity FX Super Resolution and AMD Radeon Anti-Lag 2. Support has been added to automatically configure AMD Fidelity FX Super Resolution 3 with frame generation in Black Myth, Wukong, Creatures of Ava, Frostpunk 2, God of War Ragnarok. Support has been added to configure AMD Radeon Anti-Lag 2 in automatically. Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. Expanded Vulkan extensions support VK_AMD_anti_lag. VK_KHR_maintenance 7. VK_KHR_pipeline_binary. VK_EXT_shader_object. Mesh nodes in workgraphs via Microsoft Agility SDK 1.7.15.0 Preview. Microsoft DirectX 12 workgraphs with mesh nodes support for AMD Radeon RX 7000 series graphics cards. View our accompanying blog post on Bwippen to learn more about mesh nodes in workgraphs and how to enable it. Find our workgraphs mesh nodes samples on GitHub. Fixed issues and improvements. Intermittent driver timeout or application crash while playing Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine 2. Intermittent driver timeout or application crash during certain cutscenes while playing Final Fantasy XVI on some AMD graphics products, such as the Radeon RX 6600 XT. Overly dark shadows or desaturated colors may be observed while playing Black Myth, Wukong when global illumination is medium or higher. Intermittent in-game corruption may be observed while playing Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut with AMD software, Adrenalin Edition record and streaming and HDR enabled. AFMF may become inactive after enabling certain on-screen overlays. AMD software, Adrenalin Edition may unexpectedly initiate upon system wake from sleep mode. Audio and video may intermittently become out of sync while recording using the AV1 codec in AMD software, Adrenalin Edition.